ground, where I talk about what's morally right. And yeah, you know how to reach this podcast. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Cast, Radio Public, and many other places. And I was been talking about recently previous episodes that became very well seen or heard on this podcast uh, about previous things from last year that people liked, I guess. And so now I'm just gonna say something today because I'm kind of like in this mood about some stuff, and I figured it'd clear things up a bit, make you think a little bit about how you interact with people. So anyway, I'm talking about users and not just users. Okay, I'm talking about miserable people. So it's about users and miserable people is what I'm saying today. And well, we all deal with them. They're like the ultimate haters because, well, let's be honest, they don't got nothing going on in their life. Either they're jealous of you or they're miserable about the choices they made in their own life, not having enough intelligence to seek life for themselves or try to enhance their skills or venture out to see things and do things that might make them happy or give them a learning process. You never know. But when interacting with people who use people, it's the thing I notice the most is they're using you because they lack the ability. They don't even lack. They're lazy as fuck. Okay, but they're lacking the fact that they don't want to admit it to themselves. They're lacking the fact of trying to. How can I say it? I'm trying to figure a better way of trying to put it. But anyway, they're just not trying to take advantage of things in their lives and handle it in the right way that would resolve all their problems. Let's say you go and help somebody, and especially someone that's like putting themselves in a situation that is really not normal, like a hoarder or an individual who just constantly doesn't, deal with people. But there's a reason why people don't deal with that person. There's a person that's alone all the time, and this doesn't mean everybody. There's some people that just like myself choose to stay away from negativity and bullshit, and so. But people want to be around that person, like they want to be around me, but I just choose to stay away, because you don't want to overdo your welcome with people. You don't want to overdo your welcome. People offer you something, don't ask for too much. Don't ask, them to help you with a lot of stuff. You just gotta be able to be your own person. Okay, you can't just always depend on everybody and be always in someone's face. You have to have your own life and your own things going on. And this is the problem with users and people who like to manipulate. They don't have that type of ability. They're always going to ask for something. They're always going to be needy. They're always going to want to talk to you on the phone. They're always going to try to get you to come by and do something because they don't have a life of their own. You might have a job. You might have some kind of thing going on. If these people don't know what a job is, if they've never had one or don't have one at all, or can't tell you any stories of previous jobs, this is people that honestly made a life of trying to party or make their life entertaining, but yet not in a way where it actually did something that gave them a life lesson. They were protected and coded by bullshit. And so you have to think about it for a minute when you're dealing with someone like that. As soon as you walk in the room with someone's place and they're, miserable, and you can tell because like females, I noticed this. They're watching these depressing shows. They're watching like some girls don't like Dateline, but some of them do. And they're watching like Maury, or they're watching Steve Wilkos, or something where it's always some kind of breakup, miserable, sad stuff. And there's nothing on. Nothing going on in their place. No one's over there. And you got to think about it. A woman, and we're talking a woman here. A woman that doesn't have anybody around or wants to be around. That's odd because all men want nookie. All men want to get with a woman, at least the men that are heterosexual anyway, wants to be with a woman. So sometimes guys are willing to put up with stuff to be around a woman. But if the woman doesn't have any guy around at all and tries to keep you around, then there's something seriously wrong there. And it has to be looked at. It has to be analyzed. And so that's when you're dealing with a miserable woman. And it can only go so further because they'll try to take their past feelings on men out on you, even though you're the one trying to get to help them. Now this is where I'm going to go into a little deeper, analyzing of things when it comes to certain people. Let's say there's a guy who can't use a certain limbs, like can't use his arms or whatever, and or legs or whatnot, and that person needs you to help him. And you help, and you're doing this because you actually want to help. You think you can help this person out. But this individual takes it like, oh, you're a fool, you're an idiot for helping me. Why would that person do that? Because they're miserable for themselves. They think that they're worthless. And because they feel worthless, they think you're a fool for helping them out. You know, I'm not helping me, but I mean helping them out. But, it's like you put all this effort and time into working with someone that truly you feel needs the help. But they look at it like as, oh, I can get whatever I can out of this individual. Or they will do anything I want. Maybe you don't want to do anything they want. Maybe you want to do your thing and they're irritating you with their thing. And with me, I get short real quick with that nowadays. It's just I don't got no time to play your game. Either you want the help or you don't. If you think I'm a sucker for trying to help you, then don't ask for help from nobody. Because you're going to get the same result and somebody's going to take it very personal. So you got to understand, if you really truly need help in a situation, then ask for it. But don't do it just to make yourself feel good. It's just the same as a person that will sit there and they'll try to belittle you to make themselves feel good. They'll try to say all this negative stuff to make you feel like shit, so they can go, ha 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 ha, I did it, I got that person, I made them feel dumb. It's stupid, it's a waste of time. But when a miserable person or a person that is putting themselves in a situation where they need the help because they're in a bad situation in life, when they start trying to take advantage of the situation by ha ha ha, you help me and I'm disabled type of shit, that's stupid. It happens everywhere. Besides the fact that there's people out there who pretend to be disabled just to get abilities, or not abilities, but to get resources and things from agencies, like Social Security or something like that. There's times in your life where you might need that type of help, and there's people afraid to ask for it when they actually have that problem already. But those that manipulate the system is just as bad, because that shows they have no mental capacity to try to create something on their own. Even if they get Social Security, they still don't want to try it on their own. There's some kind of mental flaw. Some kind of mental flaw in society now that I see that people automatically don't care about education, and those that are educated, some of them get ignored because of the fact that whatever their skin color is, or whatever region they come from, or how they talk or dress or whatever, some people can't afford the certain things and so forth. And so, but yet the people that are the dumbest get more respect in society most of the time. And the reason why, I think, is because either they're attractive looking, or they speak the language and it seems cool, but it's not cool. It's not cool because somewhere someone else has to take up the slack. Someone else has to pick up the slack and do the work for them, or speak for them, because they don't really know how to talk for themselves, and it's a waste of time. All that's a waste of time and money, to sit back and focus on a person who doesn't want to do anything for themselves but wants to take advantage of you. And I believe that's the biggest problem in society, because that's when people feel like they've been used, they feel betrayed because, hey, I wasted all my time and energy on this person. Anybody that sits back, and this is the way you're being used, or in so many ways, you're dealing with a miserable person, is they'll keep trying to ask you about your history, or they keep trying to ask you questions about you, and they'll keep asking you over and over again, even though you didn't already explain the shit. If you have to keep doing it over and over again, that means you're trying to get something out of me, especially if you're not listening after I've already explained this shit to you. In my mind, I'm like, I'm done with this person, besides the other fact that I want to whoop their ass. But it's just the honest truth. You just have to sit back and look at it like, hey, there's no way in hell you didn't just understand what I just told you. You want to keep something going and try to find a reason to make me look bad, some kind of poking a hole or something at somebody to try to go, oh, that person's messed up. Oh, they do this and that. And then that's the other miserable person. Is a person you interact with and they automatically label you with stuff. Oh, you do this, you do that, and da da da. Where are you coming from? What the fuck? I don't fuck with people like you. You know, you gotta tell them straight up because it's like, yo, I gave you a chance. You wanted to be my friend. I can care less about talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Like me, you gotta take me as I come. I ain't gonna stay too long. If I notice something out of order that I don't like, it doesn't work with me, and I'm a good dude. You know, but I mean, honestly, it's just like, why waste your time? You know, if I'm coming to help you and you doing something where, you know, like, I mean, everybody's got their own thing they dig and like, you know, if you like drugs and stuff, okay, cool. Admit it from the beginning, and I'll move on and do my thing because I'm not going to hang around you because I'm not trying to waste my life and be miserable and stuck out here like one of these zombies or, you know, check out to the next dimension because that stuff doesn't work well with my body. So, I mean, it's just like, let's just be real. It's like, life is what you make it if you make it right for yourself. And when I say that, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go run out and go find a bunch of people to make your life right. You got to make your life right for yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? You know what I'm saying? What is the creative skill that you had in the past that you still can do today? What creative skills do you think you can pick up that you haven't had before? That you think you can do easily? You know, what is it? Just do it. You know, just do it and just figure out how to make yourself better than what you are or what you were, or just add more layers to you to make you even more interesting. And it's not a thing about, you know, trying to find a mate or anything like that. It's just about trying to find your strengths and your powers, you know, instead of trying to worry about other people's stuff. And I'm not saying don't worry about other people, but there's people that truly do want to help and desire to help, but you got to weed out the ones that don't, the ones that just playing with you because they're too lazy to do it them damn selves. You know, I mean, it's all goes hand in hand. Using someone and manipulating them and being a miserable person is all coming together as one thing. It's honest the truth. And then the ones I hate too is the spies. You know, there'll be some miserable person you dealt with, and they'll go send some girl at you or some dude, whatever. You know, if you're a girl, and they're trying to figure out what you got going on. They want to come in and categorize everything you own. Oh, what do you got? Oh, you got that? Oh, you got this and that? You know what I mean? Forget that shit. Go do it yourself. Oh, how come you don't got this? Maybe I don't want that yet. Maybe that's what you want, but I don't want that. You know, you gotta think about the scenario of what's going on around you. And then you just eliminate the ones that's not worth your time. Eliminate the stuff that's not good in your life. And I think that's the problem people have. You know, when you see people fighting in the street, couples sitting there arguing and stuff. Even with that situation, you know, and I tried to talk to a girl about this a while ago, and she's sitting there trying to get into this whole thing because she digs me. I get it, but I'm not digging the things that's coming out of her mouth. I'm not going to go that route. You know, we can be good friends, but we ain't going nowhere further. Because I believe in the things you believe in. I'm not going to waste my time. If you believe cheating's a thing that happens with everybody, then you're an idiot. Only someone that wants to be in a relationship with somebody will truly show them true selves and not focus on anybody else. But if you're not trying to, then you're wasting your time. And I understand there's a difference between marriage and you know, dating, and dating is not even a word for me. It's like girlfriend shit or marriage. So it's like, because dating's stupid. I'm not going to go to a restaurant with a bunch of assholes around me to impress some chick when she's really not impressed. It's just dumb. You know, we can go walk in a park or hang out somewhere, and that's cool. But I'm not doing all that. So dating's dumb. And every time I went on a so-called date, it didn't feel right. And it's just stupid. And I just don't want to waste my time. But when it comes to a relationship and your girlfriend boyfriend thing, okay, you're supposed to learn about each other. You're supposed to understand each other, see if you enjoy each other and are friends and happy. And that's what that's about. And then it's like the whole marriage thing. Yeah, if you think you can get married and do all this crap and get divorced and all that, then it's not a marriage. It's a man-made marriage. And that's a difference that people don't understand. You know, they look at marriage now like it's a chore or something you can pick up and drop. But they tell you when you get married, you know what I'm saying, that For sickness and health until death do you part. It's supposed to be something where, you can be together forever. You always have each other, no matter what. But no one thinks like that. And the reason why it's supposed to be like all that, marriage to life to death and all that, is because of God. So God set boundaries, so you always have someone connected to you. You have your family, you have your love, your best friend, not your enemy, not the person you can say, okay, I'm gonna hide this from them, and I got money over here, and I got this and that. No, you gotta have that team, you gotta have that partnership, you gotta have that loyalty for each other and longing for each other. But to say everyone cheats and you want to cheat on that person, that means you never really gave that relationship a chance. You never cared about it, and you never wanted it. You just wanted to manipulate that person for whatever you wanted to get out of them. And once you got everything you got, and you feel you got them stuck, you know what I'm saying, got them by the balls, if you will, you're just going to keep milking them until that person gets tired or something hits the fan and that person ends up in jail. Some cases, that's what happens. A person will be getting so pissed that this person is cheating on them and using them, and when they try to retaliate against them, or say, hey, they know when everything's wrong, they're trying to stand up for themselves. That person that's been using them the whole time sits there and plays a victim role, acts like it's a joke, and that person ends up in jail, they lose their jobs, all kinds of shit. So you gotta think really hard. Is this person I'm about to be in a relationship worth it? Is it worth my time? Does it make me feel satisfied? Am I truly happy when I'm around this person? That person bring me joy, make me feel special, whatever the hell. If not, then you lose that relationship and move on. There's just so many things that's a problem that people don't want to focus on and look at the real simple solution to how to solve it. They'd rather keep it going, keep the bullshit going. That's why funk never stops. Funk doesn't stop for nobody. There's always some conflict, there's always some drama, there's always somebody in your way, there's always somebody trying to stop you from being you, or trying to stop you from succeeding and trying to be something great. But you gotta learn when you're dealing with someone what the hell they're about. I understand if you sit there and talk to someone that tell you, okay, but most people ain't truthfully honest. But when they're dealing with someone that is, they can't handle it. So they gotta find another way to make that person look, to understand that person in their mind. So they want to label certain things and make that person feel stupid or inadequate or whatever the hell. But once again, it's that person's problem. If you're dealing with somebody and you're sitting there and you hear them talk negative to you, or they talk high and mighty and they're yelling at you, talking down to you and all this shit, and then you realize what's really going on behind closed doors, sometimes it'll blow your mind. It'll shock the hell out of you. I recently had somebody that was like to talk down to me, bring up the past and all this crazy shit, and I try to explain stuff to them and things, because they asked me about my personal business. I really don't give a shit about talking about, but the thing about it is, once I got and saw how this individual was living, it made me go, damn, no wonder why this dude be flipping out and tripping and shit, because this dude is really faking the funk, trying to push everybody away. So they don't see how the individual's living and understanding how they, how they're acting, But it makes sense, and it automatically makes you feel sad for that individual in a way, because you're like, damn, maybe that person had potential at one time, but somewhere down the line, something went wrong. Mind got twisted about, lost who they truly are, and became something miserable, and something just horrible to deal with, And it's just the thing is that people change as they get older. No one truly stays the same individual they were when they were a child or in their teens, 20s, whatever. We all grow. Every year should be a learning process. Every day should be a learning process. There should be some kind of way to always try to steadily move forward and achieve something great in your life. If not, you're wasting your life. It's something I'm truly living by, something I don't screw around with. I try to learn something daily. I try to obtain some kind of knowledge. I try to figure out why I'm lacking in some areas and how can I fix that. It's something you have to do. It's about self-improvement. And I'm not saying self-improvement because someone's telling you to. You got to do it for yourself. because nobody else is gonna do it for you. You know, I mean, but when it comes to users and stuff, like people come by, oh, you got this. You know, you give them something one time, they automatically think they keep asking you. No, don't keep asking me. Go do it for yourself. You know, you help a bit. Oh, this is, and they just keep bothering you. Oh no, there's a problem. And when it comes to dudes, any dudes that are calling you constantly on the phone, goes fuck that shit. I don't like using the phone that much anyway. You got a phone full of numbers, and I don't call anybody. I really don't. If I text you, that's one thing. You mix the text, if I text you again, you don't call or text back, then the hell with it. I'm not gonna text you ever again. So it's like, you know, I have to be the most simplest person with that, but I'm not gonna keep calling you and blowing you up. That means there's something wrong if someone's doing that. Whatever it is, they're not gonna tell you anyway. But then act like you're a problem once you choose not to socialize with them, which means that person is seriously disturbed in some way with something in the past, you know. And they act like you the threat and all this because you won't talk to them. No, they want attention so bad, you know. And any dude that wants attention in that type of way is really unstable and demented. But I'm just saying, like, here's the thing. A person can only do so much in the daytime. You know, you think about it, like I thought about this a while ago, you know, you have 24 hours in a day. And at some point in time you have to sleep. You know, even if you don't have to sleep, you know, you can go, maybe you can go 20 or 48 hours without sleep and be able to do whatever you want. But eventually you have to. So from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, you have to find a way, even if you have a job, you have to find a way to fit in something that's going to make you learn, or something that's creative you can do that make you feel good about yourself. Not necessarily do everything for money. And a lot of people do that, you know, they try to do it for money. Like, honestly, like this stuff I'm doing right now here, yeah, it could pay off, but I don't know how to do it right, or I would be making money a certain way already. But the point about it is I like doing it because, you know, it's a learning process, you know. At the same time, you know, all the other things I do. You know, I sit here, I work on things, and most of it's just like, yeah, I'm getting better at doing this or editing or whatever, and it's a learning process. It's a growing thing. But to sit back and do nothing and wait for someone to do it for you, you're only going to be miserable, and you're only going to drag them in the mud too. If that's all you want to do is take advantage of someone or try to make them look stupid when you have nothing going on. You know what I mean? You could easily sink to their level and let them know, hey, your place is full of shit, your place is trash, da 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 da. And you can't be talking shit about me when you need me to clean your shit. Fuck that. Or when you go to a dude's house or something and motherfucker miserable, but you don't got shit. You trying to act like you faking the funk, like you trying to act like you got money, you got this and that, but all you doing is you buying shit off the street. You can't even call fucking T-Mobile and get Wi-Fi. You rather sit there and get it off the street and then try to lie to someone after they just bought the new Wi-Fi and tell them, oh, this is a new one, you got the old one. No one wants to hear that ghetto weird bullshit. Okay? You know, I get my shit brand new. I don't do that street hustle and shit. I ain't on time for this fake cut corner shit. Okay? I want my shit to operate right, to function properly. Okay? I'm not trying to play those games. It's just stupid. Or someone's jealous of you because you got this and that, so they're going to try to make you look like something else. You know, you might be a girl like you, and she's talking to you, to her friend or homeboy or ex-boyfriend, try to come at you sideways, thinking that you trying to get with the bitch, and maybe you ain't, you just being cool. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, hey, what's your problem, motherfucker? Like, I'm sorry, I'm cussing, like, but seriously, this stuff pisses me off. I know it pisses the rest of y'all off with dealing with folks in life. And the thing about it is, you can't avoid it. We got too much of a boiling pot all over the world, and it's because we put all these personalities in one spot, these big spots we call cities. You know, these spots, hot spots, if you call them. You know, every city's a hot spot. I don't care what no one says. Okay, because you got everything going on. You got businessmen, you got, you know, office workers, you got bartenders, you got freaking retail services, which is so many retail services. You got all kinds of commercial areas, residential areas where people don't do nothing but live in their house. You got all kinds of stuff going on with education that could either work or fail society. You know, you got so many things that are going on with gangs and drugs and prostitutes and then you got freaking sewer workers and garbage men. I mean, it goes on and on and on. A city is a boiling pot. It has all these different personalities, these different career paths. It has all these different things. And so you're going to constantly bump into people with personalities that'll blow your freaking mind, man. You blow your mind. You be cool with them for a second. You be like, oh, the hell with this person. I'm not dealing with that. They're not doing this and that. Me, I just cut off simple. If you're not doing what I do or something I like, I'm not going to talk to you. It's just that simple. I'm just going to be like, nope, and I'm gone. That's the way it is. I'm not trying to impress you. I don't got to need to lie to you because, I really don't know you. Or I'm not, in some ways, I'm not trying to impress you because I'm not going to lie to try to. To me, you got to care about something somewhere to lie like that. But I'm brutally honest and people hate me because of that. So, it's the truth. And so, why waste my time? Why waste your time on anybody that's doing all these things to try to get something out of you? And this is the whole purpose of trying to connect with people is to truly find someone you could consider a family almost, a friend, an ally. But if it comes to petty things like money, who got the most girls and all this shit, then you're never gonna get anywhere and you ain't grew up, Especially the one thing I know and I hear all the time on the internet, the body counts and how many body counts you got, what's the number of this and that. Like, yo, all of y'all that say that on the internet sound like kids. Y'all sound childish as hell. Literally I can't count. I can't count. And I don't even try to. Like, it was like, the first couple times, I don't know, when I was younger, the guy with a girl, bam, and I had numbers. But after a while, once I hit my 20s and 30s, it was like, that's it. It was a wrap. I don't know how many numbers or how many girls I'm trying to be with, but it's been enough to say, the hell with trying to do this stuff. It ain't gonna work. And that's the truth. Like, what's the point? It's just sex is if that's the case. And then relationships are more difficult, and it's just all complicated. So it just sounds childish when I hear these things on like the internet about body counts and who the hell cares, And then in some cases, the shit I hear it makes me sound like one of the females. I done been with a lot of females, so whatever. It's just the thing about it is, wasn't no manipulation in there. It's like that Johnny Lee song, I was looking for love in all the wrong places and too many faces. And it's the same thing when it comes to the females. They're probably looking for love and they find the wrong guy, and they keep finding the wrong guy. But in some cases, some of these guys are right on the online where they're looking for that wrong guy, and somehow attracted to it because it makes their lives exciting. But with me, it's just pissing me off, and I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna sit here and keep fighting with you and all that streaming and all that bullshit. Just go find whoever the hell you want and leave me the hell alone. That's the bottom line. Because I'm not here to have that type of party. I'm not trying to have you come and talk to me and assume I like 40s and bullshit because I'm black. I had some girls that I went to the store, got some cigarettes and I don't know what was it, some root beer shit, some crap to mess with my stomach. Anyway, but no, it was ginger ale, some shit like that. I was kind of feeling sick. But anyway, this girl goes, "Oh, you don't want got your 40s? Oh, you bought how you bought?" Who the hell are you talking to? Who's this guy with the 40s? Because I don't like malt liquor. I prefer hard liquor. I like my whiskey and my rum and whatnot. And, don't try to label me just because you like watching a certain thing and you think all black people the same. I'd rather have whiskey and rum and stuff. That's what I'm drinking right now. It's some good old rum. Yeah, this is some good shit. But yeah, so I done went way off topic. But that bothered me that day, so I just brought it up. And I ain't gonna lie, she was a pretty little Mexican broad, but hey, I'm not gonna be put in some category because you assume and that's another childish thing I hate with society. We keep talking this skin color crap and think all people have to live a certain way because of their skin color. It's bullshit. It's really bullshit. I don't want to be a gangbanger and drug dealer and do all this negative stuff because that's what it seems like they're trying to make the black society be about, is this negativity that is in the streets. And I'm not with chaos. I'm not a fan of it and I don't support it. So I'm not going to support something that says because my skin color is a certain way, I have to be a part of this negative shit that's in the streets. I'll leave that for those fools. While I try to achieve greatness and succeed at all costs. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that matters. Everything else is irrelevant. And so it's the same thing with, just like if you had a way to put people in a certain field of work and you say, okay, you're all qualified for this type of work, when you're really not. You're qualified for something else. That's half the reason why people have so much stress and depression is because they're put in places that they don't want to be and in situations they don't need to be in. But somehow it always happens. And when I'm coming into this whole situation of users and people that are, just pretty much miserable, they will put you in all these situations where you're uncomfortable or you're not supposed to be there. And the whole time they're trying to be something they're not, or they're trying to hide something from you that they don't want you to see, instead of seeing the whole reality of who they are and what they are. So it's like, just back away from them. Even if you want to be a friend, even if you think you can help, sometimes you just can't. And sometimes there's people around that automatically will tell you stop messing with somebody when that person might be good, but the person that's telling you that is actually bad. I think women deal with that more because there's always a girl who get with a relationship and then she got friends who go, oh, I hate men, or I hate this and that, and, oh, that guy's trying to use you and all this, or there'll be a mother tell a daughter, oh, he reminds me of your father or your uncle or some shit, and he ain't good, shit like that. So it's like you gotta leave these type of, you gotta analyze what people are saying constantly. You gotta truly pay attention to what is being said, even if you don't think about it and analyze it all right then and there, and you think about it a day later or hours later, and you go, that person was trying to get some money out of me, or that person was trying to stop me from doing whatever you think about it, But analyze, just be quiet sometimes when they're talking and listen. You might learn something. But if you got someone, for example, that's asking you questions and they cut you off in the middle of you explaining something, especially if they ask you something about yourself, and then they sit there and go, oh, but try to ask you another question on top of that, on top of not truly listening to you, tell them something that's positive going on, they go, well, let me ask you this, that person's using you. The person's using you, trying to manipulate you. Leave that person the hell alone. And that person's obviously miserable, because if they have to ask you a shitload of questions about what's going on with you, that means either they ain't got no job, that means they don't do nothing, that means they're trying to take advantage of you in some kind of way. That ain't cool. You don't need that type of headache. No one does. No one needs to stress out themselves and explain who they are that damn much to someone, and then they keep asking you again. Oh man, they're trying to get under your nerves. Especially if you explain. You shouldn't have to explain who you are to someone constantly when you see them. Every time you get over to their spot or whatever, you shouldn't have to do that. That means that person's trying to label you seriously and trying to label you with something that's not you. And I might have just said this a while ago, but whatever. It needs to be heard. It needs to be understood. This is the world we live in now. This is where people sit there and they try to change your personality to suit their interests. Okay? And this is what the internet problems are. People try to change that person's online personality to suit their interests. Oh, that person's a user. This person did this. Now, there's some that are really crazy that's doing weird shit out there, and they're doing it on purpose, and some of them get caught. Like the thing with Sniper Wolf shit, where she actually stole this other girl's personality to make things, and then sits there and steals people and all this crazy stuff, and then that person, you can call that person is exactly the type of people I'm talking about. When you got another person though that sit there and they're expressing themselves, they're being themselves, and they're talking online and stuff, and yet someone has a problem. There's a hater, and they're saying the most ridiculous things to try to make that person look bad. And they'll say, oh, he sexually assaulted me or said something bad, offended me. Just let people be. There's no point in everyone hating everybody. You gotta have love for someone sometime. You gotta be able to sit back and just have a friendly ear and listen, and then think of a way you can provide a solution. Well, maybe if you did this might help. That's more positive than trying to figure someone out that isn't doing anything to offend you in the first place, or trying to find a way to manipulate them to get something out of them when you can go do it your damn self. I'm just like, I know it just seems like I'm repeating things, but you gotta think about it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know the type of people I'm talking about. And it's not a whole race thing, because I've seen it from every goddamn race on the planet. You know? So, it's just really sickening. It's sad. All these humans on this toilet earth, and we can't get along. Not at one point in time at all. And people use pigmentation, skin color, as a way to separate people and divide, conquer in some cases. And yet, that still doesn't help a damn thing. It just proves more ignorance. All I see is people that are stupid. And no matter what the hell skin color is. I see people that are, none of them are worthy. It's like not one. Not one race is better than the other. Black people, that do want to have pride, I respect that. The ones that don't, when they're dealing with someone that does have black pride, I can't understand that. When you have other people with other cultures that stick around their people constantly, deal with their people all the time, I don't get how black people can't get there. And I don't care how many generations and the separations, it's just all crazy now. And when it comes to white people, they think they know what bigotry is. Hatred, they don't. How can you? When you're not walking around in the same pigmentation every day, dealing with it a certain way. When you don't understand what things mean, certain words and phrases, they don't. It's something you have to live with and grow with and understand. And try to figure out how to survive without it taking you down and making you completely go on a rampage by destroying everything. It's the same thing with any other culture, but I just think that by now, if we're going to move forward as a culture, society, as a species, we have to overcome that retarded shit so we can move forward. And I'm just saying, it's just like, come on, you got dogs of all kinds. They can hang out with each other. They go walking on leashes together. They don't sit there and go, oh, you're a Chihuahua. You're a pug. I hate you. German Shepherd. It's stupid. It's like, eventually we all have to cross the same type of problems. We all have to deal with the same consequences and the same, tormills. I can't even speak. But you know what I mean. So I'm just like, I'm ready for a change. Not just in humanity, but with the world when it comes to our species. It's time to change legal systems if they're not working. It's time to change the hierarchy between poor and rich. It's time to change the negative attitude, aggressive supposed attitude, where you look at another person and assume that they're shit. It's time to change that. It's time to, even when it comes to religion, it's time to change the fact where you act like your religion is better than somebody, or you use it to show off and get what you want, and just pretend that. If people go to church and just pretend they care about God, but at the same time they go do the most perverted things at home, or demented things at home. And that's why so many people hate the Bible or God, because there's these people that out there just poisoning the name of God, and this stuff. And you gotta think about this, and you gotta serve it the right way. You gotta practice what you preach in a way. Even if you're not good at it, just keep practicing your way until it gets right. Ultimately, if we have all this technology that can imitate humans and so forth, then there has to be a way to be able to make our own humanity better, to where we don't even need these things. The problem is, I can't stand fake people. I can't stand posers and wimps. Okay, I'll kick your ass, and then you get them. Oh no, I can't stand the wimps and posers. Okay, I can't stand the fake bras and I'm so perfect and this and that shit and don't even understand what the hell going on or what a dude wants. It's just so stupid. It's just I'm so tired of this shit. I'm tired of trying to work my ass off and it seems like you get nowhere. You know, why somebody that gets power goes power mad and they think they're running a company perfect or organization and they're running it into the ground, but they're too self-absorbed to realize that they're doing this. I'm tired of trying to keep bills caught up. You can't really buy what you want because if you don't pay this, it's off or that's shut off or I'm tired of all that shit. There's this doesn't need to be this way. If you honestly think about it, even if you don't believe in Adam and Eve or anything, you know, in the past 2,000 years, I don't think our lives are supposed to be this damn complicated as humans. I really don't. With all these problems and stuff, and maybe some cases the homeless people might be right. But here's where they're wrong. They're putting themselves at risk by drugs and stuff, by putting themselves almost in slavery, being a slave to something that's unhuman, unnatural, without trying to practice a way of fixing the problem, you know. And it's just, I don't know. But one thing I do know, wickedness, betrayal, miserable people, users, abusers, should not be tolerated at any cost. You know, and liars that affect people's lives in a dramatic state, like the girls that have babies with someone else, say, oh, this is your kid. They should never be tolerated, never be accepted, and never granted anything positive. You know, thousands of people that should be labeled and pushed aside. And so, you know, with all this being said, you know what I mean, I can go on and on and on. But the thing about it is, shit comes to light. The truth will come to life. And eventually, all these people that are miserable and users will fail. And then they will run themselves in the mud to the point where nobody will deal with them ever again. And this has to be known. And so, with all that being said, peace be with you all, and blessings upon you always. And try to do the positive and try to make yourself grow and learn every day. Because your life depends on your future, and your future will only come when you accept that you need to change to succeed in anything that you truly want. And you have to learn how to be your own hero. And that's the honest to God truth. So, peace. Until next time. Yeah.